Well, how's everyone doing? In today's video, I will be showing you how to tie flies. So I got some comments on the past fishing video on how to tie flies, and that's what I'm going to do. So, making flies like this. They can be one color, two color, three color, as many colors as you want, but it's also going to be a lot bigger on the head of the fly, because then you're going to be putting the thread over the top of the head, and that'll just make it bigger for how much more hair you want. And it's going to decide on what size hook you do. So there's a pink and white one, a red and white one, and then yellow and white. There's all kinds of colors. You just use normal bucktail. Dyed, you can get synthetic hair, but I've learned that I like bucktail more so because it keeps its form better. Synthetic it moves a little more, which could in turn, I guess, it depends on the day and how the fish are acting, I guess. But I normally bring this tackle box with me, which has all the stuff I need in it for tying flies, like all my bucktails that I have. I put my stand in there. I have my bobbins, super glue that I use sometimes, all the thread, hooks, spare jigs, just random stuff in there. But to tie flies, what you're gonna need is the stand, which you can get some that clamp on tables. You can get the stand like this, or there's all kinds of different types of stands, which all it does is it's open, get it tight, put the hook in the top. I like to make it horizontal, and just tighten it, and it's in there nice and tight. Next thing you'll need is a bobbin, which you just put the thread in there, comes off, and then comes through here and out here, which I had one that was just metal here at the tip. I like the one with the plastic piece at the end because the thread does not tear off as much. Then you need a scissors to cut some of the cut the thread once you're done, and then I have a whip finish. You don't need a whip finish because you can tie just a regular knot over your finger and pull it over. I just think the whip finish makes it a little bit faster. I usually differ between size 6 Aberdeen hooks and size 8. I like to use smaller hooks because they tend to snag less, and I like to keep the flies a little bit smaller, just off of fishing with them for a while. I've learned that they like smaller ones. They do like bigger ones sometimes, but you'll just have to go off of it for that day. So to start with tying the fly, you come up to the top. I'll zoom in a little. You come up to the top, and you just hold the thread. Make sure there's a little thread extra that you're holding on to, and just keep wrapping over the top of it for a little ways. And then I like to flip it over, pull the thread back so that you wrap over the top so it holds the thread. Wrap it back to the top, let that hang, snip off the back so that there's not some hanging there. We'll be using red and pink today. I like red and pink. Green and pink is my favorite color, but I have a bunch of those colors. So, and make sure when you're cutting the hair off the bucktail, you go all the way to the bottom, because if you cut halfway through, it's more like the tip of the hair is better, in my opinion, for the end of the fly. And then I always like to snip off the very end, the very back that you cut, so that's nice and flat when you put it on the hook, because then it's not hanging over the eyelet. So you put that on, wrap it a little bit loose at first, and then get tighter. Don't go too tight, otherwise you will break the thread a little, and then you just got to rethread it through. It's just time consuming. So you'll break the thread as you're tying flies, but once you start to get the hang of it, it won't break as often. So then you have that. So there's the red And then cutting some of the pink, again, all the way at the base. And then I like to measure, well, eyeball off of how far the hair will be on there. So I want it about this long, so I'll just grab there and then snip it so it's at the length I want it to be at. Then you just do the same thing, a little loose and then tighter as it goes on. Once it's on there, just wrap it. I feel like I'm OCD when I do this because I want every single piece of hair that I can see covered, but it doesn't have to be that way. And then I like to put some flash on there, which is just colorful stuff. There's all kinds of colors. I have all kinds of colors, so I buy everything that I have here. I bought off of Amazon. So other than the bucktails, I go to Bait Box for my bucktails. He's got the best ones that I've gotten so far, so go there for him. Right in Fort Atkinson. So when I put the flash on, I put it halfway, wrap it over once or twice, a couple times, and then it's wrapped over so it's held. I don't like the flash over the top of each other, so then it's off to the side of each, and then don't go too far down when you wrap it because I want it to stick out a little bit. I don't like my fly being straight. I like it to be a little bit more poofy. So have that go up towards the top. Again, I like to cover everything. You don't have to. Once it's on there, it's on there. Nice couple wraps. And now is the time for the knot, which I use the whip finish like I said. So for that, you stick the top of the whip finish, which right here, you stick that on the line first, and then you bring it to the back, and when you do that, you hold on to it and it spins. You pull up, it'll make a triangle, and then you put it through the tip of that triangle and you wrap over the top, and you just wrap it like 3 to 5 times. Push down, it'll come off like it did there. Pull up, pull out. So again, up at the top on the base, let it pull straight forward and up, makes the triangle. Get the triangle over the top of the eyelet, wrap it a couple times, bring it down, pops off, and pull up. And that is how you tie a fly. Sometimes I put super glue on it, sometimes I don't, just on the threaded part. Honestly, you don't have to put super glue on it because that has lasted me probably snags and I lose the hook before the thread even comes loose. That knot holds really good, so you can turn it a little bit. So there's the finished fly. Got the flash on the back and then the 2 colors. Really easy to do. I like to make a lot of them just in case, like I said, for the sake of fish in the river, lots of snags. I like to have all kinds of colors. And I like to have a good amount of the color that's working, because if you snag and you lose a fly, you want to make sure you have another one if that's a hot color. So yeah, the next thing that I was going to talk about is lighted bobbers for night fishing. The springtime night fishing, everyone knows it's good. If you can find a spot where the fish are, I like to fish from shore a lot. So lighted bobbers at nighttime on a little minnow, cat's freaking out, and you just cast it out. I go to local dams and that's where I use the lighted bobbers. Just find where it's a little bit less current, or the current wraps around and comes back. I killed the fish last year on lighted bobbers at nighttime, so hopefully I can do that again here soon. Just need the weather to warm up again and I can get a video of that hopefully. So hope you liked learn a little bit on tying flies. It's honestly one of the best baits that I use in the springtime. One, because you don't have to use minnows, so you don't have to pay for minnows. Then you can make a whole bunch of flies at home and you're catching fish off of what you make. So to me, that makes it a lot more enjoyable, that I'm catching the fish off of what I made. That's just me, I guess. But you're saving money tying your own flies, because they do range from like $3 to $6 per fly sometimes. So tying them yourself, the bucktail is usually about $10-12. I bought all of the tie flying kit for, I think it was like $40, and over time snagging flies in the river, you're gonna lose a lot of money. So you're better off tying flies. If you want to buy flies, then go for it. But yeah, I hope you liked the video, learned a little bit, and hopefully I can get back on the river here soon. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.